I think it's pretty safe to say that by far one of the fan favorite characters has got to be Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars franchise by Lucasfilm and of course by Disney and everything that George Lucas created before Disney took over Lucasfilm back in 2012. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, a lot of fans out there, including myself, really do love the old expanded universe, not just because of the great stories that were told after the events of Episode 6, and of course, even between specific movies of the Skywalker saga, but also how it explored new characters connected to the Skywalker bloodline, such as everyone that came after Luke Skywalker and Anakin and Leia as well. Now, with that being said, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm are trying their absolute best in order to bring back a majority of Star Wars legends, but not to also bring back legends, but to also bring in new stories that will be inspired from Star Wars Legends material, that will be told in this new Star Wars universe, that's really going to hit its peak sometime next year in 2021. Now, of course, the new EU has already started with the novelization of The Rise of Skywalker that is delivering many different retcons to the actual movie itself, such as Palpatine being a clone. And speaking about clones, this is where things begin to get really intriguing involving the character of Anakin Skywalker and what Disney and Lucasfilm have planned for a set of stories in the forms of books, comics, and more to be told next year. Now, what's really intriguing is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the Skywalker saga, they are focused on the new Star Wars trilogy of films as well as the new Star Wars universe. Disney currently has a plan in order to reunite the fans for the future of Star Wars and to create a better route for their new Star Wars EU that will take fans into new eras and a new mythology. It's noted that Disney and Lucasfilm are getting ready to establish many retcons to the Star Wars franchise and to the Skywalker saga, specifically in order to create entertaining stories for the Star Wars fans. It's explained that one of the major retcons that Lucasfilm is currently developing that will be told through a series of books and comics in a new story that will take place in between the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and of course Episode 4, A New Hope, that will feature the story of what happened to Anakin Skywalker's arm that was severed by Count Dooku in Episode 2 on Geonosis. It's noted that Lucasfilm has a plan in place to create a powerful story that will dive from the clones of Anakin Skywalker that were attempted to be created by Darth Sidious, and that Sidious wanted to use the power of the dark side to create a new Darth Vader that was not a flawed one with severed limbs and a suit. It's noted that Lucasfilm is basing this story off of the legend story of when Luke's hand was actually severed in the old EU, where a clone of Luke was created by the Emperor. Now, the story is set to drop sometime next year in 2021 that will retcon the story of Anakin and Vader, and that Lucasfilm wants to explore what Darth Vader would have been like if he was not burned on Mustafar by using the DNA from Anakin's severed arm on Geonosis. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, one would argue that yes, we already got a version of Darth Vader that was not flawed, that was not burned, or lost any limbs. It was the fight between both Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar. However, the thing here about this is that Anakin/Vader at that point in time never really got to experience his full potential, his full power, if you will. And hence why Anakin says to Obi-Wan, you underestimate my power. We never really got to see exactly what Darth Vader could have really been like before he was really burned and lost his limbs by the hands of Kenobi on Mustafar. The thing that really intrigues me, and it really is something that I never really thought about, is the fact that they want to use Anakin Skywalker's severed arm from Episode 2 as a big plot element of Darth Sidious trying to create a new Darth Vader sometime in between the events of Episodes 3 and 4. And that'll eventually give us a different version of Darth Vader. Now, what I think is going to happen here, since they are exploring this idea and how it's going to be inspired from the old EU, where Luke Skywalker versed a cloned version of himself that was actually spelt Luke with an extra couple of U's, I believe, is how it was spelt. Very interesting. It's very possible that this story is going to deliver a story in which the Darth Vader that we know and love is going to fight a far youthful version of Darth Vader with no burns and no injuries, for Palpatine to actually have the new version of Vader to strike down the old one as a big test. Now, that's just my assumption here as to exactly how the story is going to unfold, but nonetheless, they are going to introduce Palpatine's attempt at cloning Anakin Skywalker by use of Anakin Skywalker's severed arm on Geonosis. Interesting material, because this is something that I think a lot of fans have never really thought about, myself included. I never even thought about this. Whatever happened to Anakin's arm, right? And it makes you wonder exactly, you know, what are they really going to do with this particular story and how it's really going to affect the prequels and the originals. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.